On today's Windows Wednesday, are they going more draconian in trying to prevent you from creating a Windows 11 setup with a local account only? Thanks for checking out this video by Switch to Linux. If you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel. If you've not already done so, leave us a like and a comment down below. And we are continuing to talk about how Microsoft really wants everybody to set up your Windows 11 computers with a Microsoft Online account, verified every possible way it can be verified, passkeys stored inside of that little chip on your computer that nobody really knows how it all works. And by that, I mean, people who are novice computer users, we understand that. But this is kind of an attack against setting these up. And they have systematically blocked a lot of ways that you have to set up your computer without having the local account. You could do the there's the Shift 10 and then use a couple of the command prompts. Some of those have now been taken out. I thought the other one was listed here. Right now it looks like MSCXH:local only might still work, but I can't remember. The article I'm looking at right here is old. But another means that has generally worked is you can create your image with Rufus and tag your installation media through Rufus as creating a local account only. So if you would download the Windows ISO, burn your ISO onto your drive using the Rufus application, and you can go into the settings of that and tag it to mark that USB installation file as a local account version. So that is one of the means that is existing. In fact, that is as of this is the newest article I could find, because I know they've been systematically blocking these out. So this is now 5 months old, from September of 2025 on Tom's Hardware, how to install and log into Windows 11 without a Microsoft account. And there's been a couple ways. Of course, they have blocked many of those. One of those that has still worked generally is to use Rufus. And the problem here is that in the recent couple of days, Microsoft is now blocking that auto download utility. And we don't have all of the clarity of everything going on here yet. So we have a couple issues. Number one, could some server be vibe coded on the back end of Microsoft that accidentally broke these downloads? Possible. Could it be a malicious intent on Microsoft to break the APIs, allowing you to download the Microsoft installation files? Very possible. And that is what Rufus is alleging. Could it be just some small, simple internet error? Possible. In fact, I just got out of Tucson. I was there for 2 weeks, and there's something about Verizon Internet in Tucson that Google sees as suspicious. I first noticed it turning on YouTube and go to play something, and I had to enter a CAPTCHA code. I'm like, is YouTube doing something really weird now? So I tried multiple different accounts and non-accounts. I tried some with and without those ad blockers. I did all those different things, and I found no matter what, I had to enter a CAPTCHA. I'm like, what's going on? This is weird. Is Googliness catching up to my privacy base? Well, it was actually the internet. I go to Google Maps because I use Google Maps for a lot of my planning. Now, mind you, I do not log into it. I use it on an isolated browser. I take all the security precautions. The problem is, of all of the alternatives I've looked at, and I've looked at about all of them, nothing can compete with Google Maps for the updated information, the accuracy of information, and things like that. So when I'm doing my in-depth planning, I hunt through and stare at maps. I look at everything that is close by where I'm going to be at. I see what neat opportunities. It led to cool places like going and visiting a national monument I didn't know was there, and it was absolutely beautiful and stunning views. But the thing is that looking at the maps does this, and I used to be able to go in there and I'd like click a business, like, when is this business open? And, it gives me the hours for the week, and I get reviews and things like that. Well, I get in there and it'd be like, you're viewing a limited version of Google Maps because of questionable information on your IP address. Well, that was interesting. Well, it turned out that in the area of Tucson, Google Maps tends to be weird on any Google product. So something is going on in the Verizon network in the Tucson area. Now that I've left the Tucson area, Google Maps works as it always has. And so it is possible some weird internet circumstances happening. And that's what people were saying, is they were going to just manually download the Windows installation files, and they were getting a notice that they could not download it. The IP had been blocked. And these were people that were using like Google Fiber and not using VPNs and things like this. But it turns out that multiple different platforms like Rufus, including Rufus, also said, yeah, Microsoft is probably doing something weird under the hood. And so that's what's going on. Rufus blames Microsoft for blocking the latest Windows 11 ISO downloads. And so Microsoft did release some recent patches to Windows Hello, which they explain over there. But they say here, meanwhile, users have also noted other similar recent changes that may or may not be intentional. And what this is here is that insider channel previews are failing to download, affecting Windows 11 Canary build and the server preview build 29531. The Canary build is 28020.1611. So effectively, what's happening here is there is an API that people are using in order to download, and that API appears to be broken and say that the IP has been blocked. Could this be weird Tucson-like internet? Possibly. Could it be Microsoft is vibe coding something and the vibe coding broke something? Likely. Is it a maliciously Microsoft is hiring a person to block all these things like Rufus, which allows you to install a Windows installation media without a Microsoft account? Very likely. Because this is what Microsoft has been systematically doing for the last couple of years. And so the popular utility for downloading Windows media, Rufus, is having the same issue. And the developer utility, Pete Batard, thinks Microsoft has some changes with these latest insider preview builds. The idea that the tech giant wants people to avail ISOs only with the official Microsoft utility. So using the official Microsoft utility, you can create your little installation media that allows you to only use the Microsoft account. You can do that. You just can't use Rufus to download it, and you seemingly can't download it from another place. So in theory, you could import it into Rufus and set that tag to do a local only account. So on GitHub, issue described as the Fido script is no longer working. Batard believes that the tech giant is intentionally detecting the scripts. They are detecting the script, which frankly is not hard to do since it's open source. And he says it would require active intentional involvement from Microsoft to break the script of the downloads. And they've actually mentioned that this has happened in the past, and Rufus has later fixed it in the past. This is not also only Rufus. There's a couple other services like this, and the other article I had read actually mentioned two of the services reporting it. I can't remember if the other one was Etcher or one of the other services, but apparently Microsoft is now blocking the ability to download the ISOs on the Canary builds, so that apparently you can't test doing local accounts. This is actually the original post Chronovore, which raised awareness of this issue to NeoWin and Windows Insider. So he mentions here he's on Google Fiber, cannot download the newest ISO. Get the message, says some blocks of IPs is being blocked because they are not who they say they are. And he says he has no anonymizer running. The IP is on Google Fiber. And then he gives us an error message. And other people are chiming in, where, multiple ISPs are having the problem, Japan NTT Fiber having the problem, AT&T Fiber having the problem, German Telecom having the fiber. So this seems to be a widespread issue that effectively is happening. And a lot of this occurs because this script is being pulled in with an API. And if Microsoft just decides to block these APIs, well, you'll be stuck using their own homebrewed solutions instead, which might mean you are forced to use that Microsoft account. So if you are required to continue using Windows, I highly, highly encourage you to, by whatever means necessary, make sure your computer is only running on a local account. Keep it that way and resist the push to sign into Microsoft. Do whatever it takes to do that. Now, I am not a huge advocate of having to install a system and then running a separate third-party debloat script. It's nonsense we have to do that. But the reality is some might have to be stuck on Windows, and it's better to do that than go into, just allowing what Microsoft wants to do. But I still highly advocate most people can and should directly switch to Linux. It would be a much better, more freedom-respecting choice if you are able to do that. So I'll leave this one here. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below.